Okay. I'm not quite sure why I'm doing this, other than the fact that the owner of the camera store that I purchased or had this camera sent to has asked me to do an unboxing of the new Nikon D5 camera, which just came out literally yesterday. And I'm sorry that this is taking me so long to do this. I did get it about 5 hours ago, but I had to go to dinner and all that other lovely stuff. So anyway, this is the new Nikon D5 boxed here, and to answer just a couple questions that some people hit me with is, why is it that I purchased it from a local dealer as opposed to going to, let's say, a larger company like B&H or Adorama? I live on Long Island. My company is here on Long Island in New York, and I could easily have just gotten this from B&H. But the question I would really have for anybody else is, why would you go ahead and do something like that? You're going to have to pay a shipping charge to have it shipped to you. Usually an inordinate amount of insurance rests right on top of that. So rather than do that, I just simply went to my local camera store. I am a NPS, Nikon professional, and they were able to ship it to him and get it to me, and no extra charges at all, and a local photography company gets the business. The company I went to is a company called Berger Brothers right here on Long Island. They have stores in Syosset and Huntington, if you're interested. Excellent place. They've always treated me very, very well. Great company. So I would highly recommend them. So that's Berger Brothers, and the person I spoke to is Brad Berger, who is the owner, who does the business there. Anyway, so here's the Nikon D5. In the background I have some of the other cameras that I've used. The first one here being the D2X, the D3, and the D3X. The D3X being my personal favorite, and the camera that I use as my primary. This video is being taken on a D800 right now, which is basically a studio camera that I use. The D5's primary purpose for me is going to be in the field. I do a lot of concert photography and low light work, and this camera is really the end-all camera in that particular field, so this is why I've chosen it. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there, why do you choose Nikon over Canon? I'm not one of those people who are snobby concerning it. I'm used to the ergonomics of Nikon. There are certain aspects of it that I like better than Canon, and that's why I've chosen them for years. So let's just open it up. It's your typical box that Nikon has, the typical gold box. And the first thing you're going to get hit with is your strap, which says D5 on it. I almost never use any of the straps that come with the camera. I use a Tamrac strap system. It's a lot easier to deal with taking the straps on and off the camera. So, put that aside. Here you have your user's manuals, probably in every exotic language that you never took in school, but there's a US English here and Spanish. And as with all the Nikon cameras, quite sizable as far as the manual is concerned. Let's move these out of the way. Okay, now just to let you know, I had this box open up while I was at the camera store, so I do know what's already in here, but this is just to give you an idea of what you're going to get. This is the power strap, or the power cord for the battery charger. If you have the Nikon D4, if you have the D800, it uses the same battery, I believe. And for my D800, the charger is black. Here it's in gray, which also matches the color of the batteries. So I can move this off camera here. Okay, I will zoom this in a little later. I just wanted to get an idea of the overall size of everything. Here's the first battery. I did in fact buy a second battery. I highly recommend that you always have a backup battery. Don't just rely on the one single battery that it comes with, so you can alternate them. Most of the shoots that I do, I'm shooting well over 1,000 pictures, so having the second battery is kind of a must. Also, if you want to, for some reason, do another shoot very quickly thereafter, rather than wait for the turnaround of the recharge, you'll have a second battery available. Okay. USB 3 cable with a camera connector, which is good that it comes with that. And here you have your few accessories to it. The only one that I'm really interested in is this piece here, which is basically a hot shoe protector. So I'll pull out the D3X here, which sits right on top of the camera. Kind of weatherproofs it a little bit and protects the actual hot shoe. Okay, so let's get to the body of this camera, and let's see if we can compare it to the other ones there. Okay, here you go. The Nikon D5. I had a protector put on top of the screen here just to prevent it from, simple scratches. If you're going to do something like that, please keep in mind that this is a touch screen. So whatever it is you put on there, make sure it's going to work with the touch screen. You don't want to be disappointed later and find out that it simply doesn't do that. Alright, so it's your typical Nikon camera. See if I can do a little comparison here for you. I think it's going to be the same as the D3X. We'll take that off in comparison. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit here. Okay. There you go. So yeah, they're comparable in size. You get the feeling that the D5 is a little bit higher. You probably can't see that. But for all intents and purposes, I think they're pretty much identical. They went a little bit more heavy duty here to protect for your mode button. And I have an eye cup on mine, which you should have no problem adding to yours if you want to get one of these. And I think the one feature that I like, which they did on the D4, unlike the D3X and the D3s, they have a number here, but they don't have a thumb guard. So when you're holding the camera and shooting this way, it's a little extra strength that you have to use to grip it. Whereas in the D5, they have this there, and you really can hold the camera very, very well with that, without an issue. Let's see if I think the battery's like almost dead, so let's give it a shot. Alrighty, not too bad. Lights up. Oh, and one of the other features a lot of people don't realize is all of these buttons actually are backlit now. That's really helpful to me in a concert situation. So a lot of the times you are in the dark, or you're going to be moving to an area that's in the dark, you're going to want to be able to see that. So that's a kind of a real cool feature of this camera. And that's really it. That's just a simple unboxing of the D5. And I hope you enjoyed that, because it had nothing to do for me. But for those of you who are interested, the camera is selling. I believe it's at $6,500. The question is whether or not is that worth it to you. And depending on the kind of photography that you do, it could be. If you do a lot of low light and available light photography, which is my specialty, a camera like this is very, very helpful. I've been using the D3X for a very long time. I've gotten a lot of use out of that. That's actually my favorite camera. When the D4s came out, I did in fact think about a D4 or D4S, and I looked at it and I said, it just looks more like feature tweaking. It didn't seem like they made that much of a major advancement. So if you didn't already have a D3 or D3X, it was the perfect camera to buy. But I kind of sat back on it and I waited, and therefore when the D5 came out, I said, okay, that's more of what I'm looking for. It would be a significant improvement to the D3 and the D3X, which is why I got that. The next one I'm looking for and looking forward to is the D850 or D900. We don't know which one it's going to be named yet, and allegedly it's going to be a 56 megapixel camera, which is ideal for a studio setting, which is really more or less what I'm going to use that for. So hopefully the next time I do this, I'll be doing an unboxing for the D850 or D900. Hopefully it'll be 56 megapixels. That will be my studio camera. The D5 will be my field camera with the D3 and the D3Xs as backups. There's a very good chance that I'm going to continue to use the D3X just because I'm so accustomed to using it. It's kind of like wearing an old shirt, like what I'm wearing now. You know, I just like to use that. I just know it so well, and it responds very quickly to me. So I'm probably still going to be involved with that. But here's the D5, and hopefully I'll be shooting within the next 48 hours and have some pictures for you.